at Reva Academy for Corporate Excellence at Reva University that it is not the technology that you must worry about, whether the technology can solve your business problems. And today we are going to discuss that with Dr. Simha. As I mentioned, he is our chief mentor at in AI and analytics. He is driving large-scale transformation across domains throughout his career. He has been in telecom, healthcare, oil and gas, and multiple such sectors. And he has been guiding and consulting many such projects in AI. And he is also a passionate educator. That is why he has been associated with for so long. And let's hear from Dr. Simha about how domain-wise, industry-wise, how can we apply even basics of analytics, if not the advanced technologies. But advanced technologies are actually giving a lot of efficiency. But let's hear from his experience. Over to you, Dr. Simha. The format is going to be Dr. Simha will speak about the topic, and towards the end we will take question and answer. So please chat your questions on the screen and we will address them. We are live on YouTube. You may interact there or here, and towards the end we will come back and discuss your question and answers. Okay, thank you, and over to you, Dr. Simha.
Hey, thank you, Professor. I hope my screen is visible. Okay, so I can't see myself. Okay, so thank you everyone for coming over here and giving the audience. Generally, the question comes, what the hell is this business analytics? Why I should go there? When AI is there, will AI do everything? What happens to me? First, that's not a question at all. So when I look at whether it is AI, statistics, common sense, or whatever it is, the basic question is why the company exists. If the company exists just because people like it, it may fail. Because people are predictably irrational. Is there a possibility for us to understand that irrationality, understand where it is moving towards, understand what can be done? That exactly is what drives the business growth. Just increasing the growth will not help. My revenues are going up and up, but my costs are also going up and up. My profitability is not there. Absolute value of profitability is increasing, but the percentage profitability is not increasing. What can I do? So for us, the business growth happens with growth and profitability. Revenue should increase, cost should reduce, profit should increase. And the business should be sustainable. Is there a possibility for us to look into it? Absolutely, there is. And we would like to see how business analytics is one tool which can help us to do that. Let's understand what exactly is this business analytics, because there are a lot of terms that are floating around: data science, business analytics, artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning. You call it any name, it has something. We would like to understand what is analytics. Then we would like to understand what are the components of analytics which will be driving this growth. And then we would like to see what is the strategy and what are the deliverables. And subsequently, we would like to say, if you want to build a team, how do you build a team? Techno-functional, what you have to do. Now we would like to see all these things. Let me introduce with what is analytics. If we can look at what is analytics, for us it is very clear. Analytics is a process of discovery. Number one is discovery. You may have it. You may think that it is likely to be increasing. Sales is likely to be increasing. Profit is likely to be increasing. It is known. If it is known, it's good. You already are in control of the business. What analytics should discover, it should discover unknown things. And that is what we call as the insights. So my business analytics should discover insights. If insights are not there, If I already know it just gives me a dashboard, what is the use of the dashboard? I am doing postmortem. Should I go for postmortem? Should I go for something which I don't know? Normally, businesses have blind spots. Analytics can discover those blind spots. And anything I don't know is an insight. Analytics should not give me some blah, blah, blah chart, some dashboard, something, AI. No. Analytics is the real driver of business. How it does that? It discovers insights. Insight is something which is not known to me. If I already know, it is not insight. It is a knowledge. Because I don't know, it becomes insight. The first point, analytics should discover insight. The second point, any discovered insight should have some actionability. Now let us say that tomorrow it rains. Yes, tomorrow it rains. Predictability is very good. 99% accuracy is there in predicting tomorrow it is rain. What do I do with that? I must have something, some knowledge about tomorrow I'm going to office. It is better to take the car. It is better to take the umbrella. It is better not to go. Whatever it is, there must be some actionability. Anything that you discover, normally I go and cut the dashboards because I would like to see who is using the dashboards. If they say all are using dashboards, I would like to see what is the benefit you got. I do not want to see, we are also using dashboard, we are also using AI, we are also using business. No, you're not using. If we are using, you will be in the top 10% of the world-class companies. If not, listen to the data. Data has everything. You are collecting and you have a blind spot. You are not collecting, already you are in a swamp. First, you have the data. When the data is there, we get into the business analytics. The second thing that you should do is actionability. I will predict the sales will be down. So what? Sales will be down. Everybody is happy. I knew sales will be down. Sales team thinks I should not work. Anyway, sales will be down. And that will become a kind of a vicious circle. Sales team starts thinking sales will be down. I not have to work hard. Again, it goes down, it comes to zero. Is that actionable? The moment it sees the sales is down, it must do something to make sure the sales cannot go down. Normally they will say, hey, is it not contradictory? Is it not a kind of paradox? It is not. In fact, normally what we try to do is we try to hold a control group. 2 to 5% of anything we do will be held as a control group, and in the control group, what has happened is likely to be what would have happened if business went that way. Allow 2 or 3 salespeople to do what they want and see what exactly the prediction is. Why we have so much confidence? Because we are doing it and we are getting so much of confidence with the kind of discoveries that we are making, with the kind of predictions we are making, with the kind of recommendations that we are making. We are confident. Now we are telling that it's okay. Whatever you get extra than what could have been happened compared to the control group, give me 10% of that. I don't need any of the charges for the software or the services we are providing. That much confidence data gives. It is not that we are good, the AI algorithms are good, business and no, it is about the data. Why? Because we discovered the insights which is not known to the domain team. When we discover these insights, they must be actionable. Yes, you can act on it. If the sales is down, I know what are the reasons why the sales is down and what you can do to improve the sales. I had to discover the insights. Insights should be actionable and that action should lead to profit. So if you see the whole process, analytics is discovery, actionability, profitability. If these 3 are not there, analytics is just vanity. For me, analytics is not vanity. We are giving everything business needs in terms of up to the physical limit. This is the maximum that you can do. And we call it as theory of constraints. We show that this is where your company will be in next 2 years if you continue this. This is where your sales will be. This is where your production will be. This is where your inventory will be. Everything can be understood just by looking at past 5-year data. Now the idea comes, okay, I know what is likely to happen. I know what should be done. What is the need of humans? Humans are needed to ask those questions. The first thing we do is, in fact, people say that AI will automate that, AI will automate this. AI can automate everything, but AI till date, I don't think in my lifetime I see that. Till date, it's not capable of doing creative things. People say, yes, it can do that, it can draw images, it has this person does not exist.com is there, which generates the images which are not. That is not what we want. Will it give profit? It won't give profit. There is no creativity in it. It is just trying to predict the next pixel. That is not what we are looking at. If that is the case, I will go only with that because it gives me all the money in the world. It is not. Humans are creative, and analytics is about bringing the creativity from the business people, combine the analytics rigor, join these two, and make the business growth happen. That's where analytics is moving towards. If that's the analytics, what is that we are doing now? If we look at what is that we are doing now, probably company has data. They have ERP systems, they have Excel. If nothing else, if they are paying GST, they have at least receivables and payables. They have paid something, they have paid the service tax or possibly the employee salary and things like that. They might have paid the professional tax, they might have paid the tax deducted resource, TDS and all those things. Maybe already given, GST already has that. Or if they are providing services, what they have purchased from somebody, what they have sold to somebody, all this data should be there. Otherwise, company cannot exist. I'm not just talking about company less than 20 lakhs. I'm talking any company from 20 lakhs, 1 rupee to thousands of crores of rupees. Any of these companies can use business analytics. They say, I'm small company, I'm micro company, I'm a one man. Doesn't matter. What matters is, do you know what you don't know? When somebody don't know what they don't know, problem starts. They start assuming, I know everything. You know everything. Are you making money? Are you growing? Are you profitable? Are you sustainable? If not, look at the next thing. You may be already using standard reports. Good. Reports are good. At least you are moving towards some maturity. That's a good thing. But the problem is, it requires somebody who knows about how to grow the business. Business already has the data, how it is shrinking or growing, what products are working, what competition is doing. All data is available in data. Report says, I will give you standard template. Whatever you want, you do. It is like taking the data, putting it in Excel and making it some colorful things, then giving it back. Somebody must be there to test it, to validate, go back and check. Okay, now you got this report. I got the overall equipment efficiency report, OE report. OE report is down. Now let us go back and check what are the reasons. Now give me absentee report. Now give me inventory report. Now give me power report. Now give me consumption report. You got 4 reports. Now we got consumption report. Now you tell me which sales is down, which particular client. Plus, all those things, if you ask one after the other, when will you act? Standard reports are good. I'm not telling they're bad. At least you have something. Normally, when I was doing my PhD, they used to say that you can use ERP if you have a system. You can re-engineer something when you have some system. When nothing is there, how can you do that? Fortunately, we are already here. And this we call as stage 0 or stage 1 companies. People cannot say, I'm not paying GST, my turnover is 1,000 crores. Impossible. Isn't it? Anybody who is about 20 lakhs, 20 lakh, 1 rupee, he has to pay GST. So all such data is available. Now we would like to look at, if it is level 1 company, what is that they can move towards? You ask any finance professional, any marketing professional, he says that I will use pivot chart, Excel pivot chart. Good. Welcome to OLAP. Welcome to our DAC reports. Now you know, if I aggregate by different products over a period of time, by different regions, where my sales is happening. You are getting that in a snap, which your standard reports would have taken 4 days. Your DAC report will give in seconds. That's really good. You have moved up the ladder. Your value is improving. That will be stage 2. In stage 2, people know how to use ad hoc reports and make it static. Don't try to make it dynamic and you don't remember what analysis I did, but I wrote something. Now I have to go back and do the analysis again. You can reduce that when you try to use very structured OLAP analysis and things like that. Still, it is sense and respond. You're trying to see what is happening and some sort of way it is happening through the knowledge. In fact, we call that as first principle analysis. Somebody has thought that this is how sales works like, this is how sales looks like. That's good. You have some template to start with to analyze the data. But are there any blind spots? You are expecting something extra is coming, something different is coming. Do you know the reason? That becomes a problem, because for somebody who has got a hammer, everything looks like a knife. We had to have multiple tools. OLAP is one such tool. But beyond OLAP, where can we go? Because OLAP gives me the dashboards, the pivot charts and other things, gives me what happened in the past. Now comes the midway. This is the chasm. This is where the problem is. Generic predictive analytics. You may be using 3 months for moving average, 6 months moving average, linear regression. You may be using some kind of analytics if the company is using it. Mostly for planning and other things, they'll be using moving average. Finance will be using moving average and things like that. If you want to do cash flow projection, if you want to do such kind of things, you need some predictive analytics. That will tell why did it happen or what will happen. Once we get this in between the sense and respond and try to build a specific predictive model only for low volume sales, predict only for high value sales. Can I do this? Can I build a specific model for my specific use case? In sales itself, we are around 60 models. And people cannot say, I will predict sales forecast. You do sales forecast, but can you tell me at the region level, at the store level, at the product level, can you tell me what will be the forecast, how good it is? And that becomes predictive modeling. That will tell what will happen at the granular level. And that is essential for doing anything. Now what happens? I will get some predictive data here, bring it back and see what happened or what can happen if I do this. If this is the thing, if it is going down, let's say sales is going down, that is the prediction. When the sales was good, what I did to improve the sales, what I did to improve the production, what I did to improve the cash flow, what I did, all data is available in the past. It's historic. In fact, we say that analytics should work with small data, with big data, with all data, and with no data. They cannot say data is not there, I will not do analytics. Impossible. If that is the case, we are working without any computers, without anything, we are working for a long time. So it is not that. When data is not there, we should know how to do the analysis. When data is there, we should know how to do analysis. When big data is there at the real-time level, how to do the analysis. When we get this skill, we try to understand what has worked, what has not worked. And that gives rise to what we call as prescriptive analytics or optimization. I try to build the predictive model, try to say product 1 in region 1 is going to be slow. What I did for this product 1 in all other regions, what I did so that as soon as it is down, I did something, the sales improved. As soon as the production is reduced, I did something, production improved. Inventory was going up, it was piling up, and I did something and inventory reduced. The number of cycles, the number of turns that inventory will be purchased is increased. What did I do? Even once you have done that, you can replicate it. If you have not done that, you can simulate it. If nothing is there, you can try to do some belief modeling. Only in certain cases, sorry to take the names, but normally I say that any Sarkari thing, they try to predict and they will give reasons why it cannot happen. Anything which is entrepreneur driven, corporate driven, a private limited driven cannot live without profit. Sarkari, I don't comment because I don't know whether analytics is needed in government or not, because that's a different thing. What we are talking about is the business growth for the companies which want sustainability. Build the predictive model. Once the predictive model is there, we know what is likely to happen. Generally, the thumb of rule that we are having now is if your accuracy is above 90%, it's a good model. Try to use it. If the accuracy is between 80 and 90, It's okay. You have to have scenario planning. What happens if doesn't happen? What happens if it crosses 90? What happens if it falls below 80? You have to have scenario planning, which is nothing but simulation, which is nothing but optimization, which is nothing but game theory. If it is less than 80, we say something is wrong. Something is wrong. The first thing we do is, do you know where you can predict well, where you cannot predict well? Anything we cannot predict well, we'll be at the mercy of the market. Whatever we can predict well, we are controlling that. The market is under control. People say market is not under control. You cannot do that. That all is good. The thing that makes sense is, if we are making money, question how we are making money. As long as it is legal, go ahead and implement it. Trying to apply the first principle model, why it is happening like this, is not going to answer that. That is the difference between analytics, because it's an insightful model which was not known earlier, which is giving what is the prediction. It is telling what exactly is the thing that you have to do if we want to optimize. When all those things have been given, if we say, I don't do this, we don't know, we will address that. That is the reason we have to go for analytics. For us, analytics will improve anybody's bottom line and top line by 10% within 6 months if they implement it correctly. So people say, yeah, I'm implemented. No, you have to look at why it failed. Now the thumb rules are very clear. 90% and above, it is impossible for you to fail. 80 to 90, possibilities are there. Less than 80, you should not have used that model in the first place. Why are you using that? Those are the reasons that we would like to bring out. Once we have this, once we have predictive model, once we have prescription, we are ready to reap the benefits. In fact, people say that I'm using predictive model. You will not get profit. You will not get anything if you are just using predictive model. Without prescriptive, predictive is useless. Without descriptive, prediction is useless. Without knowing where I have to make money, where I can make money, simply telling that company will be under sales, right? Sales will be down. That will not be useful. Which product, in which region, in which store, for which particular segment, if it is down, we can do something. And that is the power of analytics. We can use this power to come out with how exactly we would like to drive our business. For that, we should know what is needed if we want to implement analytics. Now we know analytics can do wonders. In fact, personally, I have seen quantum growth, and they were not expecting it, such kind of results. Whenever I do, I will get 180-degree difference from what domain team believes. So if such is the case, what is required if I want to implement analytics? The first thing that is required to implement analytics is discovery. Most of the time what happens is experts are actually the bottlenecks for implementing analytics. They start telling this is not possible. But that is possible or not doesn't matter. It is happening. First, accept you are not seeing this. The reason being, there is no explicit rule that says if I do this action, what is likely to happen is not documented anywhere. That is the biggest problem for analytics. Anything you give to domain team, they say, I know this. The thing, if they say, I know this, the next question that should come from the top management, if you knew this, why the hell you did not act on it? So it is the responsibility of all the three teams, the top management, the middle management, and the execution teams. All of them share the responsibility. The first thing is accepting I don't know. 80% of the people, wherever, the moment they become domain expert or they become expert in some way, they lose the idea that it is human to err. There is a possibility I don't know. Data is not lying. If data is lying, why you have spent so much money on your ERP systems? Throw them out. Your data is not good. You are good. Your data is not good. Then what are you doing? Why you have paid so much tax to the government? These questions are to be answered head on. Discovery is the first step. What we don't know, which is likely to be actionable, which is likely to be profitable, has to be discovered. That is the first part of analytics. Once we discover something, that is not enough, because Even I being a human, I would like to understand how the bloody this AI or ML or business analytics can tell me what I don't know. It must diagnose that. It must tell me why it is telling this is the reason. This is why the forecast is like this. This is what is likely to be the event. It must diagnose. Once it diagnoses, it must predict. But if you don't fix this, this is going to happen. If you don't attend to this campaign, your sales will be down. If you attend this campaign, sales will be up. It will predict. Now, once it predicts, it must also recommend. It is not that only when there is a risk, it has to recommend how I can arrest the risk. When there is a reward, it must know how to accelerate the reward, how to multiply the reward. Otherwise, there is no meaning for recommendation. Recommend only when I am wrong. When I am right, don't recommend. No, I would like to recommend. You are scoring 90 now. You could have scored 99. Why are you missing that point? So whether it is risk or reward, once the prediction happens, it must recommend. You recommend something, they will execute it. Something unexpected happens, discover it, again diagnose, again predict, recommend. This is the whole cycle where we want the analytics to be part of the organization. When organizations go with the hype, they will buy whatever that is there in the market. When they go with common sense, they try to implement these type of things. Because this is where the power of analytics lies. And this is where we are so confident that I'm okay for outcome-based pricing. But the moment I say outcome-based pricing, companies say, no, I do not want to give my internals, the tax and all that. No, then you have to agree on certain things. The basic idea is if we can get these four, it is easy for us to implement analytics. That's the easier thing said than done. The problem is, what is the engineered value? How do I get the value of analytics? Normally, we will do some predictions. This machine will fail. This machine will not fail. A component that you are expecting will not come because the lead time is changed. Because that product is not coming, your machines cannot run. You are predicting something. You are forecasting something. Your sales expectation is 100. Your production forecast is only 95. It means that you are losing 5 components or 5 products price or revenue. What will you do? Can you outsource it? Can you do something? Forecasting will tell us some series, some time, what is changing over a period of time. Then there is a possibility multiple things can happen. Then I go for simulation. Once I do this, rule-based prescription or data-driven optimization, one of this can be done, and we would like to see improvement in money, improvement in time, improvement in safety. These are the 3 areas we work with. We don't work with any of the techniques and all. They are incidental. Sometime back, I was working only with the decision tree, logistic regression, linear regression. Subsequently, I started using GBM. Subsequently, I started using deep learning, neural networks and deep learning. Has it changed anything in what I'm doing? No, all of them is restricted to this. The techniques come and go. The technology will come and go. But the business priority and the business expectation is not changing. If there is a company which says that I'm ready to spend any amount of money for technology, profit comes or not, I would like to go for that company. Please tell me. I will go for that company and I will work for them. Because they are least interested in profit. But no company does that. They are interested in what is the growth, what is the profitability. I may like to reduce the time for operations. I may like to increase the time between failures, which is called as MTBF. I would like to increase that. I would like to reduce MTTR, time to repair should be reduced. I would like to go for increasing number of tons. I would like to improve the cash flow. I would like to do better P&L. Any of this, whether it is time reduction or increase, cost reduction or revenue increase, or safety, we can do a lot, and this is what we call as your value can be engineered. If you engineer the value, who got the benefit? This is publicly available information. There is nothing that I have to say these are all cooked up. It's all available in public. GE, using their enterprise analytics, got the 18% improvement in their revenue. Mingo, They wanted to see the overall equipment efficiency, which is called as the performance analytics, how I'm using my machines, how I'm using my infrastructure, right? Everybody wants it to be loaded to 100%, but we say that 100% is not necessary. If your sales is only 30%, if you produce 100%, what happens to the rest of the 70%? You will be stocking it. That is not necessary. You must know what is can be sold and what is to be performed. So that depends on the enterprise analytics. They got a 30% improvement in OEE. Schneider got around 83% in avoidable costs, and they have done predictive maintenance, which is another analytics application, 30% reduction in failures. And if you look at it, the Mingo OEE and Schneider Seneca, the use cases can be connected. When the failures reduce, the availability will increase. Availability also depends on other things like manpower that is required, energy that is required, the resources, raw material that is required, right? All these things will contribute along with machine is also available. Now, if it is only all of the things constant, if predictive maintenance can ensure 30% reduction in failures, my OEE is improved by 30%. That's how we would like to plan. We would like to take the low-hanging fruits first, and we would like to implement and we'll demonstrate this is the power of analytics. But that requires a complete structural and cultural change in the organization. The problem is most of the organizations are emotion-driven. There is no way in which they can provide the data and tell, this is what I had done. Because of this, I got this profit. Repeat that profit. What is there? When they say, I did my best, who knows what is your best? I don't know what is your best. I want the proof. Like Deming used to say, in God we trust, all else have to give the evidence. Where is your evidence for what you have done? Another one is John Deere, where their supply chain, complete 10% reduction in the supply chain cost. In fact, in any of the organizations, specifically in non-IT, non-banking kind of thing, around 40 to 70% of the cost is in supply chain. If we can reduce it by 10%, it will be 4 to 7% reduction in the overall cost, which can be actually given to the employees or anybody else to improve the performance. These are the delivered values, which is publicly available. Apart from this, I can give references wherever I have worked, wherever I have given the solution. You can talk to them. But the idea is you have this power now. You have the capabilities now. The only thing is you require some kind of template, some kind of look ahead kind of plan where somebody has been there and done that. If we can adopt that, there is nothing which stops you in reaping the benefits of analytics. So if you look at this, analytics has delivered value. How do we do this? The first thing that is required in case of analytics is data. In fact, now we have come to a stage, if there is no data, how do you do this? I would like to develop a material which cannot melt when it goes near sun. I don't have any data there. Only I know the properties of the material. At the same time, the material which cannot melt at the temperature should be 2 millimeter thick is impossible. But I would like to think any no data solution is mostly a simulation solution. We would like to go for simulation. The second type will be multi-source, multi-structured data. The sales information might have come in email, and email they have asked for 100. Here they have put only 10. Or they have asked for 100. When they have entered, they might have entered it as 150 or 1000. 1 0 extra completely changes everything. It can be multi-source. I may have to reconcile the data. I may have to check the data is correct, then move to the next thing. It can be in batch or in real time. Not necessary that it should be only at the end of the month I will do analytics. Analytics, the operational analytics can be now. It can be now. So if such is the case, data can be structured and unstructured. The time can be batch or real time. These are the types of data that you can work with. The next is the domain knowledge. Domain knowledge is where we know what is an insight, what is a knowledge. Anything that is already known by the domain team should be put into practice. Why you have to discover that again? It is not needed. What is not known is killing the company. That should be discovered. And that is where the domain team should say, yeah, I didn't knew this. It's good. I discovered it. Is it actionable? They know whether it is actionable or not. We are not. We are just analytics professionals. They know if this information is given, what can be done. Number 3, is it profitable? Yeah, we can check that. What is the cost of losing it? What is the cost of doing it? If the cost of losing it is cheaper than doing it, we prefer losing it. So profit is another motive. Now, once we have this, then actually comes the analytics. So what we do in analytics, excuse me. What we do in analytics, learning can be learning with human in loop. It doesn't matter. I have to use AI. AI is good. There is nothing wrong with that. Statistics is good. There is nothing wrong with that. Humans are good. There is nothing wrong with that. One is not superior to others. Maybe humans are very superior in terms of the creativity. Statistics is very superior in terms of evidence collection. AI is very superior in terms of learning. It doesn't mean that the other is inferior. That synergy between these three is what is important. So we use machine learning, we use statistics, we use domain rules. Anything goes. There is no stop. It says that, oh, if you are not using AI, it is not analytics. If we are not using rules, it is not. There is nothing called as you have to use AI, you have to use statistics, you have to use rules. Do anything. Discover something. Do anything. Act on something. Do anything. Reap the profit. Don't try to discuss that, this and all. This is not 3 idiots definition. It is about practicability. If you are pragmatic, you look at the profit. If you are theoretical, you can search anything. You can give all reasons. Normally, we call them as laggards. So the innovators will do all these things. Early adopters will see them and adopt it. The late adopters will see the early adopters and do it. Laggards will say, why it won't work in my industry? I'm too small. I'm too big. I'm different. Nobody is different. We have only 4 problems in analytics. Those 4 problems are discovery, diagnosis, prediction, prescription. These are the only 4 problems we solve, irrespective of any domain. With these 4, ATCG is 5 billion people can be generated with only ATCG. 4 is more than enough to generate any kind of sequence, any kind of order that is needed for the business to reap the benefits. This is how we try to build the analytics systems. Now, if you want to do this, what exactly we deliver? So if you see what is the strategy is something like this. You have the dashboards now. The moment you bring the analytics, in fact, they call it as analytics. I have no qualms about it. You can call anything as analytics. You are using data, that is also analytics, right? That's okay. But when we say analytics, like the term we defined, smart dashboard is one thing that we are looking at. Do you need 500 KPIs? Can you derive all these 500 KPIs with 90% confidence with only 5 KPIs? That exactly is what smart dashboard is. The second thing is, when the sales is going normal, why you want that report? When it falls below something, when it goes above something, you need a report. It's an exception. If it is not an exception, why do you want the report? It's okay. You want to have the report because it is statutory demand. You have to submit it to government. Take it. Automate all of that. Let it go to government. But when you're acting upon it, act only on the things which are changing and unexpected. Discovery. If it is not discovery, better automate your system. If discovery is not possible in your data, automate your system. You don't need so many people to look after all those things. People are required when AI cannot handle it, when statistics cannot handle it. People are required to implement that. They can think creatively, they can solve the problem. That is about the smart dashboard. Next is rule-based analytics. Domain team gives some rules. Is it 100% correct? It is not 100% correct. Then what will you do? We have to calibrate that based on the data. They may say that if I implement 1+1 free, buy one get one BOGO promotion, the sales will increase by 10%. Have you tested it? Will the sales increase by 10%? 100% correct? If you find that that rule is only 7% correct, actually you should dump that, right? If it's 70% correct, there's a possibility it may give 7% conversion, not 10% conversion. In one, it may give 10, in another, it may give 15. Overall, if you do this promotion 10 times, you may get 7% overall average. That is calibration. Now, for doing this, you must get the rules explicitly from the domain team. That is when really the value of analytics comes out. When domain team says that, no, I'm invincible, yeah, I'm, you cannot displace me. So no, that is not the way. Any good company which is knowledge driven, which is moving towards AI, which is using analytics, should know what is the domain rule they are applying for any operational, tactical, or strategic use cases. Calibrate them. Once you calibrate them, we will go for predictive analytics. In fact, I will give an example. Recently, since 3 months, we are working on a project to predict how much will be the demand for a set of machines that are being used by our client company. Imagine how many models we have built. 730 models we have built. Out of that, we have chosen 33 models. 730 models will be built every month. Out of that, about somewhere between 27 to 32 models will be selected and will be used for prediction. And that actually is the real work. It is not, I will build a model, it is applicable everywhere. That will not work. And that is the reason analytics is dynamic. The moment you take some analytic input and you make changes to the system behavior changes. Next time, I cannot predict the same thing. I had to learn after changing this, what has been happening to the system, what is the new behavior, predict based on that behavior. And that is pattern recognition. We are recognizing the patterns, we are trying to predict. Once we do this, we would like to go for next best action. I will do A is not working, go to B is not working, go to C. If C is also not working, introduce humans. That is what we call as amplified knowledge. And this whole system of analytics is called as human in loop system. Without humans really controlling, in fact, that's Asimov's third law. We do not want to give control to system where the humans are at risk. We cannot allow that. We want businesses to run by humans, not by systems. Tomorrow, if system feels this business is over, I'll shut the door. It cannot close the business and go off. We cannot do that. Certain things can be automated. Certain things cannot be automated. The whole stuff is the strategy how we start. If we are starting analytics, take your dashboards, see which of the dashboard elements are changing month on month, day by day. What is changing? Should I go for that or not? If there is no need for attending to that, why are you showing that in the first place in the dashboard? These are some of the questions we will ask, and we would like to see how analytics can help you. Now, I have this. What are the technologies I need? Plenty of technologies. We will go mad if we go behind technology. Plenty. And I do not want to talk about technology because you can choose any technology. Normally, I say you have to choose only 3 technologies. One technology is for your data. How you store the data, how you process the data is one technology you must select. The second technology is analytics. How do you do analytics? How do you build the basic models? How do you build the advanced models? Select one technology. There is nothing you have to choose. I will choose PyTorch for this. I will choose TensorFlow for this. I choose H2O for this. I choose Spark. No, choose one. That's enough. One technology for analysis and analytics. At the end of the day, all of this has to be presented somewhere. You have to explore something, right? Before doing modeling, we have to explore the data. After doing modeling and the predicting, I had to explore the data. I had to present this as some dashboard, some insight, something to the stakeholders. For that, choose one technology. All others, whether it is infrastructure, whether it is data pipeline, whether it is operations, all of that can be chosen. But the core technologies that are required for analytics are data technology, presentation technology, analytics technology. Choose these three technologies and you're right on the spot. You can go ahead doing the basic low hanging fruits immediately. In fact, my timeline is 3 months. Within 90 days, if you are not reaping the benefits, you have to cross check, you have to verify and ask, is analytics really for me? Am I doing it right? When it takes years and other things, we say, yes, you have a very good team, maintain that. The rule of thumb is 3 months, 90 days is the time to see the sweet spots. Where is your sweet spot? What is that you should do? Can it give the impetus, the positive impetus? It should not become a vicious cycle. It should become a value-added cycle. When I add one analytics, people should come and ask, I also want this. Why are you not giving prediction for me? Why you are not recognizing my weak points? Why are you not diagnosing why the problem is? Why you are not recommending what I should do? They should come and act. And if we can build that, that become a value-added cycle. And that's what we are looking at. Minimize the analytics technologies because we don't know. This technology is there today, tomorrow it may not be there. But these four problems are there since the beginning of the business. And it will remain till we are moved to maybe Mars or somewhere else because it is becoming polluted and it is impossible for us to live. Till then, these four problems will be there. And these four solutions from analytics we will be working on. So once we have these technologies up and running, how do we start? Where do we start? In fact, we say that this is the value chain. This is how the value chain moves. You start with functional analytics. It can be dashboard. It can be rule-based systems. You try to build that first. It can be across marketing, customers, sales and marketing, finance, operations, supply chain. Irrespective of any of the functions in the enterprise, you can reap benefits. Analytics can be used. These are some of the use cases which are working or which you have worked. All these use cases, we will guarantee, yes, it adds some value. For example, customer, I would like to see recently we are looking at what is the customer perception about something. It is not just sentiment. It is not just aspect-oriented sentiment. It is also the emotions. It is also what their intent is. Everything we can get this from social media analytics. Now we are not limited to one social media. It is an aggregated social media. So if you look at it, the value, the lowest value is in functional analytics, but this gives a good start. This builds the culture in the organization to look at the evidence and act upon it. After that, we get into advanced analytics. Maybe using statistics and machine learning, we start doing all these things. Once that is done, we move towards big data. Sometimes people ask, should I go for big data? I'm a small company. I'm a 100 crore turnover company. Should I go for big data? My answer is hands down, yes. What is big data for you? Using Azure Spark is big data, but then go for it. But identify the use case, what you cannot do with other things. So once they do it, we can see, we have to select one of these use cases. For example, segments. Do you know which segments give you higher profits? Which segment give you higher revenue? Which segments will give you high profit, high revenue? Look at those segments, attend to them. It's only a functional analytics you define. Then when system detects, compare that. Is your detection is correct or the discovery from analytics is correct or better? So we are looking at the entire spectrum of enterprise analytics rather than one or two use cases. There are plenty. I have just taken few, but the value chain is like this. Minimum value, maximum value. Should they go for big data analytics? Absolutely. Anybody who is going for IoT should go for big data analytics. It is not advanced analytics anymore. So we are looking at all the possibilities. Once we know what are the different use cases that we can do, next comes what skills are required. What skills are required? In fact, as I was telling you, programming, AI/ML, storytelling skills are the basic hard skills that are required. People tell me, no, storytelling is a soft skill you have to put there. You can put anywhere you want. But the idea is programming, AI/ML, storytelling using these three. Storytelling, when I say that, it is about how do you use your presentation layer to do that, not about storytelling, just speaking. So this is the technical skill. Then you have to have the functional skill, right? You have to get the different function domain teams and you have to get that. Next is industry validation. So you must have certified groups, right? If you are participating in any kind of courses, you have to get the internship. You have to do the projects in this area of your specialization now. Then you can move towards enterprise spectrum. The last one, normally you have to establish your credibility. Why I should look at somebody? He says, I have done a PhD in analytics. Good. What can I do? You have to give me job. Why I should give you job? Why I should give you project? I have done this project. I have saved 50% of machining time in this particular thing. You have the similar problem. He has done good things. He has projected them and he has done the project to what I'm looking at. So this is only for the people who are looking at team building or possibly people who are looking at joining some courses. So when you see this, moving from hard skill to soft skill should take anywhere from 3 months to 2 years. But beyond that, it may not be feasible because we don't know how the technology moves then. I'm just talking about the technology. The problem solving skills remain same. Only 4 problems, only multiple solutions for these 4 problems, nothing more. If you can get this, it will be easy. Now, this is how the businesses are getting it, how we are building the teams, how we are implementing the analytics, and what you can expect from analytics applied to business. I will open the house for any questions.
Yeah, there are a few.
My speaker is. Okay.
Yeah, there are a few questions, and I'm sure you had I don't know, we keep talking about roller coaster ride. I hope you kind of understood the depth and breadth of analytics possibilities and beautiful opportunities available if you start looking at data and start thinking that analytics to be applied. And I'm sure a lot of questions have come, and please put your questions on the chat. We will spend another 5 to 7 minutes on questions. There is a question from Ganesh. He is asking that you want to ask the question right here, Ganesh. That would help. He says that we want to have some clarification for our client business. So Ganesh, I think we would appreciate if you put the question in the chat. Okay, we'll wait for some time for those who want to. Okay, the standard question I think is how business analytics is different from data science and data analytics.
Slight differences. Data science can be anything. Data science can be for archaeology, it can be for zoology. Doesn't matter. Data science is just analyzing the data. Business analytics is a subset of data science where it is more focused towards business benefits. Company doesn't need data scientists because in India, very well, simply they will float the world and that will be taken up. But what business requires is business analytics professional. What is the difference between business analytics and data science? Data science, you will get data analytics skills. In business analytics, you will get the functional skills also. For this specific function, what are the analytics use cases that I had to do? You can get that in data science, but you will be perfected in business analytics. So business analytics clearly carries data science, which talks about building AI/ML models, building dashboards, managing data and all those things. Business analytics adds one more layer of domain to it. That is the difference between data science and business analytics.
There's one more question around. Can you provide a roadmap for business analytics areas profession?
Oh, yes. In fact, if you are looking at the career transition and other things, if you are a functional professional or if you are a programmer moving towards business analytics, in both cases, your entry, you had to carry your experience. That's very, very important. Let's say you have 5 years experience, 10 years experience. You cannot say, now I have to start as a fresher. That is not the way. The way to join is, I carry 10 years experience in SAP. I carry 10 years experience in finance. How can I become business analytics professional? So if we look at that, The choice for you is not to become entry-level programmer or coder or a business analytics guy who analyzes data which is being given to you. You must know these are the 10 use cases in my finance where I require the domain modeling. I can build the domain model. I can validate it. Now I'll be adding my specialized skills in business analytics to build the AML models, validate them, present it to the business through my domain understanding itself. If you look at it, you will be sort of senior data scientist, senior business analytics professional, or a manager. I cannot say senior manager, a manager kind of guy who added the business analytics to your report here, because already you may be managing an SAP team, you may be managing a finance team, you may be managing a development team. Now you'll be adding analytics as a part of your portfolio, so that is the next transition. It depends on where you would like to go. So would you like to go in management side of the data science and business analytics, or you would like to go in technical side of the business analytics? If it is the technical business side of the business analytics, your progression will be junior business analytics professional, business analytics professional, manager, GM, and things like that, right? Otherwise, if you go for the management, it will be assistant manager, right? Manager, senior manager. So the position, in fact, most of the seniority positions in business analytics and data science can be covered within 10 years. If you work diligently and you can produce it. Please understand, in business analytics, outcome is important, not your experience, not your pedigree. That is not important at all. What you can bring to table, what is the outcome that you can generate, that can make you a superstar within 10 years. That is the progression how we have to look at. For me, I can predict for next 5 years. It's pretty difficult to predict even for 10 years. I don't know what happens after 10 years. 5 years, yes, you should be in a position. Salary wise, you must be expecting anywhere from 100% to 300% improvement in your salary in next 5 years. Whatever is your salary, you must plan for 300%, up to 300%. It is your 5 years. If it is 100%, without doing anything, you will get it, because every 3 years, every year, you will get 20% improvement. Within 3-4 years, you will get 100%. The target, if we keep 300 to 500%, that's a good career transition.
There is another question. What are the emerging technologies in business analytics that companies should be aware of?
Well, there are plenty. For example, one of the things that we are looking now is how can you use generative AI in the next stage? Generative AI in the next stage is called as the generative action models, or GAMs, or large action models, or LAMs. And that is what companies are planning now. But for us, it's overkill. Actually, you cannot do that. You do not have that much of data. You cannot do that. Rather, it is better you adopt any of the open source or the privately available, GPTs, right? It can be ChatGPT or it can be another LLM, right? Retrain that or fine tune it. So this is the approach what we are trying now. In fact, now, if we look at what we are doing, one of the cases where we are working is we are developing a large action model where it will become, if any of you have read the book called The Goal, right? In that book, Alex Rego will be trained by Jonah, right? And they try to systematically identify where is the bottleneck, right? Where is the constraint? How can I remove the constraint so that my system can work up to its maximum capacity? That's called as theory of constraints. How do you build that? No, one thing is go to Israel, go to US, get trained, and come here and implement. If you're not getting, blame it on somebody. The other way is use an LLM, train it. Already you have enough data. And train your LLM to learn where are the constraints. If the expert comes and asks the question, interactively can it help, is one type of technology that we are working now. And good thing is for us, it will be industry specific, company specific. It is not that I will develop and everybody can use it. Is not there. So for every company, we would like to develop such kind of things. That's where the companies are going.
There is a question around marketing field. What is are there any important tools or concepts that will help future outcome important marketing?
In fact, if you listen to Peter Drucker, there are only two things that are required for an enterprise. One is R&D, second is marketing. When I say marketing, I'm not telling only brand. I'm telling it is sales. Can you do it? Can you sense? In fact, we call it as demand sensing. So demand intelligence is all about marketing. How do you sense it? If you read the Tipping Point book, he says that before something happens, there is some creeping that is happening at the bottom. Right? You require some critical mass. The moment it becomes critical mass, everybody start thinking that. It is nothing but the causing the chasm kind of innovators. Are you following innovators? Innovators need not have to be large companies. Somebody which is making sense, who are giving 100, 200% profit, but they are not showing what they are doing. And that becomes the innovator. Innovator doesn't mean that that company has a culture and all. Anybody we can learn from. And that is where the marketing is moved towards. In fact, marketing and finance are the two groups which have adopted analytics from the beginning.
There's a question around I'm planning to do my master's, and do you prefer me doing it in India or abroad? I think once we start answer that question, maybe I'll take over and talk about
Okay. For me, it depends on what is your interest. If you want to add a tag, you can do anywhere. You can do it in the US, preferably in Harvard, right? Or MIT Sloan School, which are known for MS in Business Analytics. They are known courses. But if you are looking at career transition, not just a tag, if you are looking for career transition, anywhere is good. You don't worry about the university. You don't worry about anything. I made it very clear in my presentation. Business analytics, we measure the outcome, not your degree. Your degree, pedigree, and all those things are good. That can give you entry. Your sustenance depends on what the stuff you have. That stuff is you. It is not your degree. If that degree is the thing, I can get for all our politicians, I can get one Harvard degree. By paying money, I can get that. It will not. So degree has nothing to do with your capability. Your capability is your interest, your commitment. Moment you do that, like I told you, do the projects, very good projects where the companies will be hunting you. That's an indication. Being an analytics professional, you should know if the company is chasing you, it means that you are doing something which is really good. For that, you have to market yourself. For that, you have to do the project. And it's a cycle, right? It's a virtuous cycle. Do the project, publish it, people come to know, do another project, publish it, people will come to know. It's a virtuous cycle. And it's you. That's why I prefer anything. Become brand you. Don't try to go with anything else. Brand you is very important.
Yeah, I think similar questions are coming. So let us also take a minute to share my screen. I know Dr. Simha has done a wonderful presentation, but we also want to, you can see my screen?
Yeah.
One second.
Yep.
So those who are asking multiple questions about our course.
Is there?
Okay.
You're on.
Is there an echo? Is there an echo? Jordan, can you clarify? Is there?
The speaker is up.
Okay, yeah. Yes. So many questions are come on what is that we must start our the journey in analytics. A quick introduction about us. We are a very premier private university located in Bengaluru with a beautiful campus here, hosting about the 15,000 plus students, 2,000 plus staff, have about 10 plus schools. But in Reva University, we have a very, very dedicated center for these emerging technologies, which is hosting this webinar. We call ourselves as Reva Academy for Corporate Excellence. And some of the focus areas that which we have discussed today is business analytics, data science, AI, etc., and cybersecurity, cloud. Right. So the whole differentiation that which we provide, as Dr. Simha mentioned, is that project-driven learning and experiential learning, and what kind of projects, which are industry projects, and that is how we are associated with mentors like Dr. Simha, who actually brings the real-time problem statements from various companies to the students and the learners here, right? So that is how we differentiate our programs. And if you look at our participants' profile, since we are dedicated to working professionals, we have anywhere between 4 to 24 plus years of experience, ranging from junior analysts to vice presidents, going through our programs. And we have a great diversity in terms of designations, experience, the number of companies that they represent. And that itself is a great ecosystem, because what you will learn not just from the mentors, but also peers is one of the best part of our programs. And in terms of the kind of ecosystem, it's not just the mentors, but we proudly are part of about a great ecosystem in terms of, say, about 20 plus different organizations, 50 plus different proprietary tools or open tools. We are a Pearson View test center. We are an EC Council, the academic excellence partner, multiple AWS, Azure, a lot of cloud providers are also part of our programs. And we actually run a very, very dedicated program. This has been running for the past 7 years. We have the 14th batch running here, which is very dedicated to bringing this business outcome through analytics understanding. So this program is very, very, the program structure, it's an MSc program for working professionals run during weekends, very focused on various domains. So that somebody asked about marketing, those who are from finance or supply chain background, how do we apply analytics or machine learning or AI in these areas and build your use cases so that you can drive that business growth. So that is the whole idea. But since cloud is an important the way in that you serve your model, so we also have Azure. Part of it is also coming very closely. So this program comes with a lot of certifications as well, not just the master's programs of UGC approved program, but also Microsoft certified AI 102, which talks about an entire pipeline of machine learning using Azure pipeline. Similarly, DP100, right? And AWS machine learning part, etc. So this is a very dedicated program on business analytics. And what we have seen is, as Dr. Simha mentioned, that a very hands-on experiential learning, project-based learning, at the end of your journey, you would have changed your resume, you would have transformed your resume with the projects. And what we have seen is, irrespective of the background, the hike that we have experienced for our participants range from 50% to almost 800% with global mobility, and they are able to lead data science projects during or after our program. So we would request all of you to look at our program. From the team, please post our business analytics brochure there on the chat. You can go through that. And if you want to know more about it, John is around. John's number has been put. Our numbers are available for any call. And if you want to have a consultation with Dr. Simha or any of us, please do connect as well, right? So we would love to have hearing from you, because webinar it's a 1 hour webinar. I'm sure you would have already made notes. What are the things that you should now go and check? 1 hour of webinar of Dr. Simha is equivalent to maybe about 100 hours of work. And I hope you got the depth and breadth of the topic here, right? So we would request all of you to come back to us, ask questions. Our numbers are there. There's an active WhatsApp group. And please visit us. We have an excellent campus facility with a state-of-the-art labs to run any business analytics or AI programs. And if you are interested to transition your career into this business analytics domain, we assure that there is extreme customization that we do in our programs to help you fulfill your dream of becoming an emerging technology professional, who will drive finally value to organizations where you're working. And with that, and our immense gratitude to Dr. Simha for guiding us through, not just in AI, but in life itself. We really appreciate the passion, the commitment, the intensity, and the depth of knowledge and the skill that you bring in across domains. We are really, really grateful. And I hope this was a good session for each of you. So we look forward to connecting with you further. And now it is 7:41. I know we have delayed 10 minutes, but thank you for staying back. And we will see you all in our next webinar or at our campus. Thank you, Dr. Simha, and thank you, everyone.